Hey everyone, Andrew back again and welcome to another video. And it's Saturday, so I'm back with another slasher review as part of the TheHORROrmans Slashback Slasher Challenge series. And this week's theme is YouTube name slashers, which I personally think is a really cool theme. So what that means is we're to review a slasher movie that begins with the same letter as our YouTube name. So for me, Andrew Balliner, obviously my YouTube name starts with the letter A, so I'm to review a slasher movie that, starts with the letter A. So I'm going to be reviewing this one right here, Anthropophagous. So this one centers around a group of adults. They're off on a island vacation and they end up coming across another individual who has missed the boat to get to an island. She basically works as a nanny there, so the group decide to offer her a ride on their boat to this island and decide to explore it themselves. So once they get on the island, they're kind of trapped there because their boat ends up going back out to sea with a tide, so they're basically stuck on this island until the boat comes back to the shore with the incoming tide. And of course there is a killer on the loose on this island. He's already basically taken out the entire population already, and he is going to be targeting this new group of people that have just arrived on the island. So that is pretty much the storyline to this one. Now we'll move on to my thoughts on Anthropophagous. Now this was actually a first time watch for me. I'd never seen the movie before and I'm kind of mixed on this one, guys, so we'll get to that throughout the review. So first of all, we'll talk a little bit about the location. So I really liked the location a lot within this movie. It's set on a really awesome island and it's definitely got a really moody and pretty eerie and creepy atmosphere. So I thought the location was a fantastic setting for a slasher. And basically this island, it's in the middle of the ocean. It's pretty much in the middle of nowhere. There's no real form of communication to the mainland, so you're pretty much isolated completely from the outside world. And yeah, that's a really cool location for a slasher, completely cut off and there's no basic means of escape really. So yeah, really good location, and the island itself and the buildings within the island looked really good too. So I definitely liked the location a lot. The characters I thought were really good as well. Very solid cast. They were a lot older than your traditional slasher characters. They were pretty much all mature adults, which I really liked. And I didn't really have an issue with any of the characters within this movie. I thought they were all really good. So yeah, another big pro that I have with this movie. Now comes some negatives. So as I mentioned before, I am pretty mixed when it comes to this film. I'm sort of straight down the middle. There was some stuff that I liked about it, and there was sort of equal amounts that I didn't really care too much for within this film. So we'll talk a little bit about the killer now. So I liked the killer. The killer's there on the cover, and yeah, as I said, I liked the killer. He was definitely really creepy. However, I didn't think he was that threatening, honestly. And that kind of took me out of his character a little bit throughout the film. He just didn't really have that menace and threat to him that a lot of other slasher characters have. And to be completely honest, he was pretty easily killed off at the end of the film as well. So yeah, while I liked the look of the killer and I thought he was pretty creepy, he just didn't really have that threat to him. So that was one issue that I had with the film. Another major issue that I had with this movie was definitely the pacing. It was really slow going for the majority of the film. especially for the first sort of 45 minutes to an hour. There wasn't really a lot happening, and it was kind of boring in parts for me, honestly, and I was kind of sitting there thinking, can we hurry up with another kill, please? Because the pacing of the kills within this movie is another major issue that I have with it. There's a kill, or there's a couple of kills at the beginning, and then there's not really another on-screen kill for about 45 minutes, close to an hour, after the first two original kills. So there's a couple of off-screen ones, sort of in between, but yeah, the pace of the kills was a little bit off for me. I would have liked them to be a little bit more spread out over the course of the film, and perhaps had a higher body count even. So yeah, that was another sort of issue that I had with the movie. Another major issue that I had with it was the music. I thought, for the most part, the music was absolutely annoying. I wasn't a fan of the music really at all, so yeah, that was another sort of letdown. I will say though, you get a little bit of a backstory and like a basic sort of reveal of the killer and why he is the way that he is, and I thought that was pretty cool, but I kind of would have perhaps liked the killer to be a little bit more fleshed out in this one. But in saying that though, I definitely appreciated a little bit of a backstory on the killer. That was pretty interesting too. As for the kills, I thought the kills were, for the most part, pretty good. My favourite kill was definitely one at the beginning of the film, and I just loved the whole way that the kill was done, the way that it was shot. So there was a guy on a beach at the beginning of the movie, and the killer came up to him out of the water, which I thought was pretty cool, and he had like a meat cleaver, and before the guy got killed off, you basically saw a shot of his face in the meat cleaver, and I really, really liked that. I thought that was a fantastic shot before he was about to die, and then he got the meat cleaver shoved into the top of his head and face, and that was definitely my favourite kill within the movie. I thought that looked really, really good, and it was really, really well done. As for the rest of the kills, I'm a little bit mixed on them, honestly. This one does have some really, really pretty gory and nasty looking kills. However, I kind of felt that they were a little bit cheap looking, so that kind of took me a little bit out of the kills as well. But in saying that though, yeah, there's some good gore in this, especially for the time that this movie was made, and I guess for the budget of the film too. So very, very typical of Italian style gore though. So yeah, so the gore was there, but I don't know, I think they were trying to kind of go for more of a shock value, and it sort of cheapened the kills a little bit for me. But yeah, that I'll kind of leave it at that really, because I'll just be ranting and raving on. But yeah, I'll leave it at that in terms of the kills. So a little bit mixed on them too. One thing that I definitely forgot to mention though, and it's definitely one of the main positives that I had with this movie, I thought it was extremely well shot. I've definitely got to give it to the cinematography within this film. Very, very well shot. Yeah, they captured the vibe that they were going for really, really well, and yeah, I thought this was extremely well shot. So that's really all I have to say on Anthropophagous. As you can clearly tell from the review, I'm pretty mixed on this one, kind of split down the middle. So while I didn't dislike this movie, I would only say that I thought it was good. Not great, but it was good. So in saying that, this is one that I don't know if I can really recommend. I certainly wouldn't highly recommend it. I would probably say that if you're a casual slasher fan, I would probably skip it. But if you're a hardcore slasher fan and you like watching as many slashers as you can, and you've never seen this one before, I think it's definitely well worth at least a watch. And before we wrap up the review, I want to give a quick mention to the 88 Films Blu-ray. This Blu-ray release is really, really good. The transfer on this one is excellent, so I definitely recommend this release. Anyway guys, that is pretty much all I really have to say on Anthropophagous. Despite my opinions on this movie, it was definitely good to watch this one for the first time, and as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I thought this was a really, really awesome theme this week. So yeah, if you've seen Anthropophagous, let me know what you think of it in the comment section below. I do know that a few of you are big fans of this movie, which is cool. And if you haven't, like I said, it doesn't get my highest recommendation, but if you are a hardcore slasher fan and this one sounds interesting to you, I would say it is at least worth a watch. Anyway guys, that is it for this week's review. Until next Saturday when I'll be back with another slasher review, I hope you've enjoyed this one, and thank you for watching.